And I just wanted to start by kind of, getting your perception on gauging, a lot of us have been involved in some really particular policy debate this morning, and of course, as an interest group like we are, this is a huge part of our lives. But in terms of the average Canadian, what do you feel the perception is in terms of the importance of the negotiations that will be in the coming months in Copenhagen? What do you sort of feel is on the general radar of the public? Are they engaged, or do they feel this is important, or perhaps not as much as?
Well, I think the average Canadian feels that this is an important issue. I think most people find the science surrounding it interesting, and they know there's many perspectives that they read about in the newspaper. So I think people find it an important, challenging topic. And so my sense is there's a willingness on the part of Canadians to want to do their fair share. That's my sense of what I hear.
Sure. Okay. Well, if you could sort of point, looking at the potential effects not only of climate change in a scientific way, but also the negotiations in Copenhagen, in terms of the results that we're going to see from those, what do you think are the most important or compelling or influential factors that would compel Canadians to care? So, in other words, in simpler terms, when it comes to the issue of climate change and the issue of these negotiations, what do you feel is at stake for it?
Well, I think these are extremely important negotiations. Whether they result in a complete agreement or not remains to be seen, to be clear. And there are more pessimistic expressions at the moment than optimistic. You may have seen that Delors, who's responsible for the UN process this past week, said that a full agreement was unlikely. The individual responsible for the UNFCCC science committee indicated that it was clear in his mind that there wasn't enough time to get a full agreement. So I think there's some realism about where we are at, the amount that needs to be done, and the time that's left. And so I think people know that. The important thing will be that if we don't get an agreement, a full agreement in Copenhagen, that we don't lose momentum and that things move forward into the period of the next COP to try to get matters resolved. And that, to be clear, we get as much achieved at this one as can be possibly achieved.